Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome back. So last week I was scrolling through my news feed, looking through whatever happened in the news that day, and I passed by the terrible, unfortunate incident that happened at Virginia Beach on Friday, where there was a shooting, 12 people were killed, others were injured, and the whole community is mourning. It's a really terrible story, but what I'm embarrassed to say is that I found myself beginning to scroll past the story, and then I caught myself. How can I pass by a story that's so devastating like this, and so many people are terribly hurt, and so many families are mourning, and I'm just gonna scroll past it? And it hit me that I'm not even sure what I'm sadder about. The fact that this terrible incident happened, or the fact that us all over are inundated with so much of these terrible stories happening one after another, that we're kind of sadly numb to it. And it doesn't even catch our attention anymore, that I was just gonna scroll right past it. So firstly, our thoughts and prayers are with the Virginia Beach community, the victims and family members. But what I want to talk about is a recognition in the healthcare community that this is something that is traumatic, and something that you're seeing more and more victims or patients that are suffering from this trauma induced by such events like this. And because of that, CMS is putting into place in November of this upcoming year new regulations that everyone should be aware of, that are going to address to make sure that patients who may have had traumatic events in their life, maybe suffering from PTSD or something similar, will be monitored, and there'll be steps put in place to make sure that they don't trigger another traumatic event to happen to them at any point. So to add to this trauma, now administrators are going to start getting traumatized by the fact that they need to stress out before a survey to make sure that they have the right care plans in place, the right policy in place to identify people that may be prone to something like this, or be subject to getting into another event that they couldn't have caught. So for all the administrators out there, make sure that you understand about what these requirements are in order not to get this F tag at survey. And for us as a company, it's interesting to us because it's kind of a way we're seeing a link between skilled nursing, post-acute care providers, behavioral health, and even substance abuse treatment, which are all areas which LTC Contracting services. And the reason why that's happening is because very often people that do suffer from these traumatic events and have PTSD do suffer from behavioral or mental health issues, as well as turning to substance abuse, and therefore need the substance abuse treatment. So we're seeing a lot of policies and requirements that are similar for each of these provider types. But for you administrators out there, make sure that it's early enough before November. Make sure you're prepared, and make sure you know what needs to be in place so you don't suffer from any traumatic events by your survey. But if you do, hopefully your staff will put a care plan in place to make sure it never happens again. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.